Hello friends, good afternoon everyone. Jai Bhim to all. Friends, today I came before you for giving the message and share to you one incident which was registered and it was came under the light from the Hyderabad city where there the Bismillah colony in Shahid Nagar. There from friends, the 21-year-old woman allegedly stabbed to death on last yesterday, Monday, few hour on early morning 4 a.m. At the time, the woman was died by murder. Friends, really I would like to say to you what is going on currently and what happening in the nowadays. Since the few months, friends, there was many murders were registered and who are the married one and who had arranged for marry the arranged marriage for the who had completed their the engagement, who settled for the marriage. The all are, there is no age differentiation also. The even 60-50 years old women and men also committing and they interfering to the murders and kills. What is going on in the 21st century going on? Even friends, which are the well developed countries or states, they are going in forward with the speedily by the different adventures and different innovations, different the updates by those they are going and that updating day to day. The generation is very speed. Friends, right now what is going on, the AI generation going on. Even the who are the women and who are the people, men, they couldn't understand and they couldn't thought what about the society, what is going on, where we are living, such like for no one thought themselves and what they thought themselves, that only they are doing. But what is the aftermath, what is the after condition, what is the after hazards, they couldn't thought and they couldn't know about those situation and those problems. Really I am very sad. Friends, many members, women, they were killed their husband and for the over the extramarital affairs, for the illegal affairs. On those affairs they were killed to their husband. Many issues we all are well knew and the day to day those are also have been increasing and developing, but there is no control, there is no curb by the authorities and who are the concerned authorities and officials and who are the leaders who are elected by the people. They hadn't give the any responsibility, they hadn't to do any responsibility, they hadn't to take the any care over the society, over the people and public problem. That's why those have been continuing, which was the last yesterday. The 21-year-old boy, he also allegedly committed to murder and he was murdered to the 21-year-old woman. Friends, who was working as a waiter at the hotel. She was identified as a Rehana. She was working at the Varamgadda and Mailadevrapalli, and she originally from Patna in Bihar. And who was the boy, who was the 21-year-old boy, Sheikh Ahmad. He living at the friends, Bismillah colony, Shahid Nagar in Hyderabad city. Actually they each other, they both were loved, and since the few months they are on love. After then, when the Rehana, she had been instanting for the marriage to the Ahmad. The Ahmad, he wasn't agreed to marry the Rehana. That's why while the argumenting over the marriage issue, the Rehana and Ahmad took the extreme step, and he was killed the Rehana by the knife. He was stabbed. The allegedly stabbed the Rehana. Rehana was after then died at the Bismillah colony in Shahir Nagar. And after then the Sheikh Ahmad and his mother, the Ayesha, they both were placed the deceased body by the gunny bag. After the receiving police officials calls by the 100 dial, they were rushly came to the scene, and they were received the body 5:30 a.m. The few hour, and after then the police officials, according to the preliminary examination, information, investigation, they were said that each other they were on the love. When the Rehana, she was proposed for the marriage, at the time the argument was rose, and the Ahmad, he was took the extreme step, and he was stabbed to Rehana over the marriage proposal, and that was Rehana was died. Such like information came by the police officials from the Balanagar. The Balanagar police officials, they were received the body, and they sent to the hospital for the postmortem, and they registered the case, and the investigation is underway. That is going on. That's why what I am saying means the why these people why they are thinking like a ignored people, and why they are not whoever did the mistakes, why they weren't thought, and why they weren't feared, and why they weren't scared about the society, and what is the land order, what might be committed, might be interfered, any murders, any kills, what is the aftermath, what is the after condition, what is the after hazards, like that. Why they hadn't thought this is bothering this issue and this point, really very sad, and no one commit, and no one take the extreme step in your hand, and no one kill to others. One thing, you have not any chance and right to kill and murder to others. Friends, no one have the such like chance. If there is any problem, you have to resort to the any community elders or police station or court. You have many ways for the expressing the our problem, and what is the issue, and what we have to we have to want the judgment. That's why we have to resort to the what is the ways we have. Otherwise won't take the such extreme step in your hands. This is my first request to everyone. And friends, the nowadays many members, especially women, they are involving, and they are taking the extreme step. They are killing their husband by the safari. What is mean by that? For the another relationship, other what is mean by that? I am strongly giving the one suggestion and warning to the everyone who are the people who have the such like mindset. First of all, who got the marriage and who have the children, they are should be stay in your limits. We have to give the love and affection to your children and your wife or husband. And we have a family. That's why everyone who are the women and men, boy and girl, they all are stay in your limits, especially married one. Who are the married one and who have the children, they have to stay in your limit. This is my first request. Because of if you take the another step, if you have the any children, what is their situation, what is their condition, any circumstances, under the any circumstances, any problem, we have to move our life with our family. That is good, that is healthiest one. This is my first request to everyone. And who are the boy and girl, if we have the both side love, we have to settle and we have to guard the marriage by the your elders. Either your elders, if they are not agree, if you have to resort to the police station. The who are the major one, they have the rights for take the any good step, not a bad step, for the good step you have to do. But if you have one side love, other side not love, we have to leave them, won't force and won't give the troublesome them. That is not good, that is not healthiest one. This is my request to everyone. Which was happened, the 21-year-old boy, he was committed, he was murdered by stabbed with the knife. What is mean by that? Where we are living in the future, what will be happen, what will be going on? That's why everyone fearing, who are have the especially parent who have the daughters, the their parents, they are really fearing and they are scaring over the such like incidents and issues. That's why no one do. Really, I am very sad. I am heartfully expressing my regret. I am extending my condolence to deceased family for. Thank you everyone. JB.